envision this ending? And you know, does he have a destination in mind, or is this all a random joyride at this point? Yeah, and the irony of it is that despite the flat tires, which are a big problem for him, and certainly will create a problem if he decides to step on the gas, he's got plenty of freeway to play with here. I mean, they've literally shut down the freeway for him. You have never seen the 10 freeway clocking at night. The eastbound side of the 10 freeway is literally desolate. They have blocked every entrance ramp. They have shut down traffic behind him, and they are calling in for additional units to assist in that traffic operation. So you're looking at miles and miles of wide open freeway, which we would often anticipate a pursuit driver, you know,
this is like one of the. Oh,
you know,
is this it? Is this finally it? Is this finally it?
He is not trying.
No, come on, bro.
I think is my point. He is really in it for the.
Come on, tell me this is it. Tell me this is it. Come on.
He did have his cell phone with him at various points.
Is he done? Yeah, I ain't gonna go.
On the cell phone or maybe texting at other points, but he appears to be in communication with somebody or some people.
It's like a game of catch and mouse, like what the guy is saying, basically. Okay, are you gonna give up? No, you're not.
That cannot be confirmed. The hope is that if it was indeed the case, that maybe relatives would be able to reach out to him and maybe try and talk some sense into him and get him to give himself up peacefully. That's about an hour ago that we got that information, and up until now we have not seen any change in the behavior here. It's a continuing stop-and-go situation, a stop-and-go pattern where he appears to be...
If this guy would just give up, like these guys could just easily go home.
Right behind him. You get the feeling that he's getting some enjoyment out of that, as opposed to just...
Is this it, finally? Is this it? Nope, it's not. Is this it? Come on. Literally, come on, bro. Like literally, I'm just watching this chase. More open up my YouTube channel. I'm like, live police chase. I thought it was gonna be a high speed chase or something. Like the slowest police chase of 2021. Like if this actually, like he's going under 5 miles an hour every time he stops, the cops are gonna think it's over.
And what's wild about that is that we have seen that same situation playing out, not just where this began in Inglewood, not just where we think he might be from in South LA or the South Bay, but across town there seems to be people coming out of the woodwork from all different
Is this it finally?
of the city and now the county to
Nope.
try and catch a glimpse of this, or in some cases even just cheer him on, like loudly cheer him on, pulling off to the side, not only of side streets but off the freeway, and literally rallying him to, you know, to keep going.
I will be posting a link to the actual police chase right now. I'm going to pin it so you guys can watch this.
And the streaming technology that we've been streaming on all night long on various platforms. He also probably has the radio on, who knows, but this has gone far and wide, and it seems like like, you know, while it seems like fun and games at times, it can't be stressed enough how dangerous this could all turn at the drop of a dime. The volatility that's involved here, despite the slow speeds and despite the sideshows, if he gets agitated, if he decides that he is not in a good place, this could get very, very dangerous for everybody involved. And that's why they're trying to get everybody to keep, trying to keep their space, keep the public back, and just go along for this as long as the ride lasts, despite the frustrating nature of it. And I can't stress enough, there are thousands of motorists right now. We can't quite swing it back where we are right now, but the camera I'm talking about, but there are thousands of people stuck on the 10 freeway as we speak for several miles through East LA into the San Gabriel Valley. Traffic is backed up for miles.
That has to be more than 1,000 people. It has to be over 4,500 people.
It happened on the 110 freeway as he went through downtown. Traffic was backed up all the way to the 105. Same thing on the 101 freeway as people were trying to get home and folks are trying to navigate the freeways on Tuesday night. It's very, very frustrating, and that's obviously part of the reason, a small part of the reason, or a big part of the reason, I should say, that we've been covering for 4.5 hours straight. Literally now going on about 4.5 hours.
Come on, bro. Like, this has to be one of the slowest police chases ever in 2021. Like, after that, like, he turned on his lights are still on. He was driving with all his lights off. Now he has his left turn indicator on. I think in the back of this, there's like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people stuck in the back of the traffic jam right now.
Yeah, as we make our way eastbound, you're right. We're making our way past Baldwin Park, West Covina coming up here. We are getting further and further into the San Gabriel Valley. And I should mention that the 60 freeway and the 210 freeway, if you know somebody, they're wide open. They are free and clear. If you know somebody who might happen to be stuck on the 10 freeway, it's a perfect night to just jump off at any of these exits, go up to the 60 or the 210 freeway. With that said, we've got thousands of people who are just stuck behind
Is this guy finally pulling over? Is he? Come on, tell me. Is he pulling over? Is he pulling over? No.
If he doesn't
No.
get off of it at some point, it's going to stay this way. It's going to stay clogged for quite
Nope.
some time. So very frustrating for a lot of motorists. I just can't get over the number of people who have lined up along the freeway as we continue to see here, trying to get a picture of it, trying to be a part of this
Come on, man, just stop. It's that
but
easy.
it is dangerous and certainly not encouraged. And you see he's continuing this slow pattern of stopping and going. He's got his hazard lights on, windshield wipers going back and forth. Very erratic behavior, no rhyme or reason. LAPD of note, keeping no more than 3 car lengths between them and he. At most right
It's
here,
more than
but
3 car lengths.
I
It's like more like
find
a
interesting as well.
2 or 3
Sometimes
cars.
we
Or
see
2
them give
cars.
we see them give suspects a little more space in certain situations, but they are pretty close up behind him, and every time he does come to a stop, you see them ready to execute that felony stop that they are so well trained to do, and that we see so very often here.
I'm gonna plug my
Coming
mic.
up on the Glendora Avenue exit, which he is bypassing state, committed to the 10 freeway, and it's just a matter of time. But as I said earlier in our web stream, there's no guarantee that it's going to be a short amount of time.
He's just like stopping back and forth. Literally, this is like the slowest police chase ever. My whole entire life I've ever seen. Just want to say welcome to the stream. The actual link to this is right now. I have pinned it.
David, you raise a really good point. If he does come to a stop, there is a very real possibility that this could turn into a standoff. And you're right, it could be an extended standoff. And it would not be uncommon in many other situations where we would see them call
If someone just go ram him with a freaking semi truck or something, yeah, they'll completely stop this.
Maybe now that we're in county jurisdiction, LA Sheriff would send out maybe their Special Enforcement Bureau. However, that question was asked earlier in the pursuit, and the
Like if you saw right there in the bottom right corner, it's gonna come up right now. If you saw right there in the bottom right corner, you can literally see them trying to open the door. He
part
goes.
of that reasoning at the time, and it may very well still be the case, that now that they know what they know about his mental state, that maybe that would not be the best tactic in terms of keeping him calm and relaxed. And you saw that front left tire come completely off. He's now riding entirely on his aluminum rim. But yeah, I don't even know if he does come to a stop. It'll be interesting to see what type of tactics they will take. Whether they will send out a SWAT team.
I'm gonna probably need to change out my mic
Whether
in
this
a
out
second.
some other way. But that's where we're at.
Ow. Yeah, that's not gonna work. There it is. I think it was connected to my other mic. There it is. I think it was connected to my other mic. This is like the slowest police chase I've ever seen in my life, bro. God, like this is like the slowest police chase I've ever seen in my life.
And I can guarantee you that that threat is still top of mind hours later on the part of those officers right behind them. They are well aware of what possibly is inside that car, considering the weapons charges and the belief that there was a gun involved in the original crime. So they are treating this very gingerly, as we've been stating. But there's good reason for it, and there's good reason that they are pouring this.
Okay, if you're treating it right, then why don't you just go do a pit maneuver?
Dozens of officers who have been involved in this pursuit, not a normal pursuit, not a typical situation by any means. Various jurisdictions. Again, I mentioned several helicopters taking part in this pursuit. There is a desperation to get this person off the road, but they want to do it as peacefully as possible and as safely as possible, both for the safety of the public and, of course, for the well-being of the individual behind the wheel.
If they just pit maneuver the guy and do something about it, like you're good. If they just pit maneuver the guy and do something about it, like you're good.
I come. No, in fact, it's little surprising. I think he's showing a certain amount of endurance here, quite frankly, considering everything that we've all been through in the last 4.5 hours. The fact that he is still participating in this game, and I keep calling it a game because I do feel like he is playing, he is toying with the units behind him, and whether it's for the attention or whether it's because he's getting enjoyment out of it, he is continuing it hours on end of this pattern of stopping and going. Of course, he gets egged on by occasional passerbys, or in some cases, people that have actually pulled over just for the purpose of watching this roll by. He's putting on quite a show, so he's not only getting enjoyment by toying with law enforcement officers, he also seems to be well aware, as you mentioned earlier, of the fact that he is providing some form of entertainment here. So a lot of factors in play.
I'm trying to see is this guy trying to break a world record or what?
He may be mentally impaired and going through some type of a manic episode, and then the fact that he is under this kind of pressure with law enforcement on his tail, helicopters flying overhead. As you mentioned, there's a lot of stimulation coming from all different angles, and I mean, how much longer can one person endure that? I mean, he's showing some degree of endurance to be continuing this on for 4.5 hours. As I mentioned earlier, though, it could all change so quickly if he has a bad moment and decides to make the wrong decision. And that's, again, one of the other...
Okay, you're going to take the exit or what?
Because there is a very real present danger on the freeway this evening. It has been all evening long over the course of this pursuit.
I don't care. I'll stay up all night. Is this over? Nope.
10 freeway here in West Covina.
I wonder what these people are doing, though.
When you get tired, you lose your want and desire to fight. And perhaps that's enough for him to just give up and say, do what you will. He certainly doesn't seem nearly as active as he did when he first jumped on this pursuit almost 5 hours ago.
Yeah, and it's one thing if it was during the day and there were it was even more of a spectacle. You can imagine what it would be like. But at this late hour, he seems to almost. I mean, it's impossible to get inside of his head, obviously, but perhaps he just is resigned to how this is going to end and is just enjoying his last remaining minutes of freedom. That we see all the time. That would actually not be so uncommon. So, he's using every last drop of gas. He's using the remainder of his energy and enjoying his last few minutes of freedom in playing this game, which, while it's been frustrating for the entire city this evening, it's still a game to him, I think. And as you see us pull away, we're actually going to start making our way over to the airport for another refuel. This is now going to be our second refuel of the evening. It's been a long night of refueling, not only for us, but as I mentioned earlier, for all of those ground units, the various agencies who have swapped out, handed off. Same thing for the helicopters flying overhead. It is a little bit mind-boggling when you look at a situation like this. Granted, we're somewhat accustomed to this type of situation here in Los Angeles, but the amount of resources that go into this type of a spectacle, and it's obviously for a good reason. As we've been saying, there is a very real danger to the public here, and hopefully it ends as safely as it's been progressing here in the last several hours. Hopefully, when it's all said and done, nobody gets hurt, David.
Right. Okay, so you've got to move out of there and safely refuel. Boy, this guy's just starting to get a little bit squirrely, too, right at that moment. But we'll be back. Chris, you've done a great job today. It's been a long night. Good luck refueling.
Negative.
Stay safe, and then we'll have updates for you for the folks out there who are watching this as soon as we get them. Thank you all for joining us.
Why not go into other cameras preview? Wait, is it finally over? Oh no, they ended the stream. No. Hold on. Well, I guess we can sit here and watch or something. Wait, they shot him? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. Still not giving me nothing. Wait. Wait, did they shoot him? He got shot? Doomer? Let me go back on another YouTube or something.
The criminal justice system, as you have mentioned. We have to know that there is a dependence in this nation.
Oh, fuck off, bro. Yeah, what the frick? Did anyone see that? NBC4? I'm not gonna fall for this. They shot him. Can you get out of my face, please? Oh, no, they ended it. They ended the stream. Cancel.
Kind of the stop.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, wow. I did not. Watch your comment section be like 2,000 people already commenting. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Here we are in the Cal Trans, the Cone Zone. 10 freeway via Verde and the LAPD with extreme patience in this pursuit. There comes the night sunlight. So we're gonna slide a little bit closer. We got a little ahead of it, and we're gonna slide back. But within about almost a mile, that's where I see some construction work up ahead. Here's the LAPD coming into their
Bro, can this dude hurry up and stop?
situation where they pop the doors open and jump out, and then the driver just simply says, "No, I think I'll keep going a little bit more." I'm looking just ahead of the chase. Literally about a quarter mile ahead of the pursuit vehicle here are a group of cars that are about 8 of them that are going super slow as well. They must have
This
got
guy?
on the freeway before the chase and it's just keeping pace ahead of the chase. It looks like someone pulled over to the side of the road and might be looking to get out as the car goes by. But they are just kind of creeping along ahead of traffic. I'll show you that as I zoom out real quick. That's the pursuit vehicle with the night sunlight. And to the left, those headlights there in the dark, those are a couple of the cars I'm talking about. So a group of cars that are just kind of ahead of the pursuit, just kind of keeping pace with it. Here's the driver moving around there. It looked like maybe he might want to get out, but now just slightly moves forward.
Wait, he's reaching over.
Look at that front rim, just kind of spinning there.
So basically, the suspect is this guy, basically. This guy?
On again, off again. Here's the drive, about 13 to 20 miles an hour, and then back on the brakes, stopping. LAPD pulls up. pops the doors, goes into felony traffic mode to stop. Absolutely, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, during our 11 o'clock news, we were trailing the pursuit. Eliana Moreno was covering it for our live broadcast on Channel 4 News. My pilot, Chris Sanders, was talking to one of the airships that was departing for fuel, one of the LAPD airships departing for fuel. He was chatting with the pilot. They believe that this is the longest slow-speed chase in LAPD history, or at least in the last 20 years. I can tell you that I've never seen one this slow for this long. In my 22 years of covering pursuits here in LA, I've never seen one that goes this slow for this long. We've covered quite a few chases in that time, many of which were a bit slow, but this one by far is taking the longest. As I say that, we're watching some of the Caltrans workers that are backing down the freeway and yielding to the officers there. So keeping them safe by doing that is a smart move. Miserable for people that are on the freeway that are trying to get to their homes or other locations. Certainly those people coming up from the San Pedro area on the 110 freeway were locked into that traffic until this driver made his way northbound on the 101 from the 110. And then again, the 110 freeway backing up because of the driver in both directions, northbound and then eventually southbound. And then the long haul from downtown LA on the 10 freeway all the way out to where we are right now, coming up to and approaching the 57 interchange here on the 10 eastbound through this construction zone. So yeah, brutal for people that are trying to get to places on the 10 freeway. If you are thinking about using the 10 freeway coming from the 605, try another route, take the 210 or the 60 instead. That will get you around this and not have to worry about being stuck for the duration of this pursuit. Hopefully the driver will take the 57 freeway if he's able to make it there, which is just in about a mile, maybe a mile and a half away. That will relieve the 10 freeway, but then it'll be that freeway, the 57 or whichever one the driver jumps on will be jammed eventually. So that's been the issue with this chase. The poor people that have been stuck on the freeway trying to get to where they were just had bad luck and ended up behind this chase. Here are some of the people that have pulled over. Look at that, people pulling over, shadowing the pursuit on side streets and on on the freeway where the closure is. A couple of cars, these were the ones we're talking about, had been up ahead of the pursuit, now just waiting, people coming out with their cell phones to videotape that pursuit going by. And really the speeds are what's allowing that to happen because it's so slow. Now here's the driver coming through the Kellogg grade, reaching close to the top of it now and maybe perhaps going downhill. We should see speeds a little bit faster, but again, the speed's going to be limited to the control of the car, and look at that, he's going all the way into the slow lane. Here's those 2 lanes that the CHP is talking about, the Caltrans shutting down all but 2 lanes, and now the car comes to a stop, and the felony stop goes into its process, and then the driver drives off. So now with a little bit, possibly a little bit of momentum as the driver comes to the top of the grade and will start working his way down. We'll be able to drive a little bit faster maybe, and but again, limited by those the lack of rubber on his rims. And we'll look at that again here. Look at that front rim, the rear driver tire is running on rims that looks like it's a little hard to tell if there's rubber still on that one. May come in a little tighter. Colleen Williams was mentioning during our broadcast that possibly the driver had some the run flat tires that can be punctured but still go for miles and miles. It looks like the front one's maybe not the case. That rear one still looks like it might have a little bit of rubber left on it, but at this point 3 of the 4 tires and possibly the 4th one may be damaged. Eliana Moreno was talking about the bumper being coming off a little bit on the car, but that's likely due to the tire just disintegrating as this pursuit continues. 24 miles an hour there is the speed currently. Hazard lights on. And the LAPD there, not giving up, not giving in. Through the cone zone on the gas, a little bit of downhill speed, also 40 miles an hour, 30, kind of fluctuating there. Again, the LAPD trying to make a stop on this driver, armed and dangerous, possibly involved in a shooting in Newton Division, and they're not taking any chances with this driver. And now we're approaching the 57, and look at that, on the brakes. For no apparent reason, just slamming on the brakes there. And there's the phone in the driver's hand again. We see the phone lighting up. So part of the Kellogg interchange here is the 57 freeway, but also the 71 freeway that the driver might have access to. We'll see what happens. Okay, thank you for that, and I'll keep you informed on fuel and all that. In a real short distance is the interchange. In fact, there's a gore point there. We'll see if there's access to the 71 freeway as well as the north or southbound 57 freeway. But beyond the interchange, if the driver stays on the 10 freeway eastbound, it looks like it's going to open up to all lanes once again. Here's another look at the Kellogg grade, the pursuit there in the front, and to the right you're going to see the backup stretching down the grade and back towards West Covina, snaking along. All those cars just trapped in this, no way out once you get in the grade, so they're in it for the long haul as they reach those 2 lanes of traffic. Caltrans workers there, and the pursuit at this point, just shy of the 57, 71, and the 10 interchange. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Chris. Uh-huh. On again, off again. Stopping and going.
Is it? Oh.
Here's a look at the LAPD officers in trail. You jump out with guns drawn and then back in as the car slowly drifts away. Normally in a pursuit, when the spike strips are used unsuccessfully, the tires disintegrate, and we've seen pursuits continue to travel at a high rate of speed. This driver choosing to go slow, stop and go, but in other pursuits we've seen the tires wear out and fly off, the rims wear down all the way to the hub, and at that point the car just becomes disabled. In this case, because of the slow speeds, those rims are slowly grinding away, and the driver still has traction. So that is another feature of this slow speed chase. And I can tell you that had this driver not been wanted for being armed and dangerous and possibly involved in a shooting, this pursuit would have been over a long time ago with a pit maneuver. But because of the dangers involved in that, they're not taking any chances with this driver. You can see as I zoom out, this is a really dark section of freeway. The night sunlight lighting it up, but once it pulls away, it's extremely dark. The freeway lights overhead are off. It is the Caltrans zone right now, cone zone, and those workers having their own lights to utilize. For the most part, the pursuit is beyond those Caltrans workers. There might be a few more at the actual interchange itself, but we're just about to the interchange, and a few of those cars that are in front of the pursuit still just pulling over and waiting for the driver to catch up are just doing this trailing in ahead of, I shouldn't say trailing, but leading the pursuit. I'll come back out and show you those cars once again real quick. There's a few of them stopped there and a few more ahead. So those drivers hanging out and then moving as the pursuit vehicle moves towards them. Back into the chase, the driver again on the move, stopping, starting. I personally have never driven on rims on a car, but I can't imagine that being a very comfortable feeling
I don't know,
with
man.
a lack of control. I've seen it plenty of
Yeah,
times.
if they would have done a roadblock, yeah, pretty
Cars
easy, but he's
traveling
on.
at a high rate of
That's what they're
speed with
saying.
their tires blown like this, just weaving back and forth out of control. And even at slow speeds, you can see when this driver accelerates to like 20 miles an hour, there is some movement and the car. So it must be a very an uneasy feeling, I should say, as you're driving a car down the freeway. You don't really have a lot of control of it. As you can see, as he hits the gas, the front wheels spin faster. The rim spins on nothing but the ground there. It's part of the reason why this driver is
Dude
not
has to be
really
low on
taking off
gas
on
or something.
the LAPD at high rate of speed. Early on in the pursuit, the LAPD airships, they do a fantastic job of keeping vehicles safe ahead of the pursuit. We watched time and time again as the police helicopter would put their night sunlight on a intersection that the car was approaching to let drivers know, hey, there's something happening. It gets your attention if you've ever had night sunlight from a helicopter shine on you in a car. Your car lights up, everything inside lights up, and you go, hey, what is this? What's going on? That light is
that's
really
the problem.
bright.
This guy is probably
Get your
armed and
attention
dangerous.
very
That's the
easily,
problem, bro.
And that's one of the tactics that the LAPD uses in their helicopters. They know that they can shine that light at a busy intersection as that pursuit approaches and get the attention of drivers to let them know, hey, something's coming your way, something's up. And it worked well in this pursuit, and we've seen it many times before in the past. It's a great technique that the officers can do from the air to keep people safe. A lot of times units on the ground can't get into position fast enough in busy intersections to keep the intersections clear, so the airship can do that.
I don't care. I'll stay up all night watching this shit, bro.
Much like you're seeing right now, lighting up the car, will do that, and it really gets your attention. In fact, we take an opportunity to look at the driver when the night sunlight hits him, and we can see how it lights up that inside of the car. We see that he has a white shirt on. We see items inside the car, and we're able to use that night sunlight to see what's going on at those times. No. Now, looking at the front passenger tire, I can see it flapping there. It's about to lose its tread. So, if not already, there's part of the tire. That's the interchange there. That's part of the tire is on there, and likely a lot of it is gone already. But in a short time,
just for you guys know that this is live in Los Angeles, California right now.
And then it's going to be no tread on the front end at all. There's the sparks on the driver's side.
There we go. And that poor
so the driver
Malibu,
committed
man.
to the eastbound 10 freeway, did not take the 71 or
those sparks
the,
could cause a car fire.
57. It doesn't look like that's going to be possible at this point. Night sunlight coming in there. The tire may have already shredded underneath that bridge. There goes pieces of it. And now the driver realizing, wow, this is like driving on a icy road.
Well, he's going so fast now that he's going to end up crashing. Just do a pit maneuver, like God. There he is, he's slipping. Just sliding now. I'm just thinking that the driver actually realizes he has no traction anymore in the front two-wheel axles and tires, and he's actually damaging.
Looks like the driver's realizing that.
Yeah.
He wants to hit the gas, but he can't because of the stability of the car. My pilot Chris is telling me that there's a lot of cars that are stopped and just ahead of the driver. I'm going to come out to a wide
That's
shot
going
to
to
see
cause
that.
he's damaging the axle. So the more the axle spins
There you
and
go.
it's
There's
getting
a bunch of cars
on
just
the
kind of
inside,
eyeballing this
the more
pursuit
the
from
axle is
behind
just getting
them.
spun and spun and spun around, it's going to damage the axle, might
It's
collapse
not really
the
an
axle,
issue for
or might cause a
the
car fire if
LAPD,
it hits the
except
fuel
that
lines.
those cars are in danger if there happens to be any kind of shooting that happens. Those cars are downrange of the pursuit vehicle, so they could be in the line of fire if something like that was to happen. So they're not happy that those cars are there. They would like them to, move on and get out of the way.
It's just to let you guys know that I do have 1080p on, so you guys can basically watch this in 1080p, not 720p. I mean, depends, Juan. He could probably give up, but it's like a game of cat and mouse. But he's actually moving. It looks like a white guy. Is it a white guy or a black guy? That's what I want to know.
Here's
Is
the
he
driver.
done? Is he done?
Using his phone there in his hand to his ear.
He's a family member right there. Dude, stop! Let them take you in. Come on. Oh, come on, dude, stop, for God's sake. These cops want to go home and see their families. No, it's a white guy. He's on his phone. Yeah, it's a bald guy.
Look at the driver there.
Is it over?
The car comes
Is
to
it
a
over?
stop.
Tell me it's over. Tell me it's over.
Shaking his head around. Looks like he may be.
Tell me it's over, or the car ran out of gas.
It's hard to tell.
Is it over? Send a canine. Send a canine! Motherfucker! Bro, send a fucking canine! What's going on, man? What's going on? Oh, what's up, Hasham? Literally, send a canine, bro. Come on.
This might be the longest this car has been stopped in this pursuit so far. There's movement there with the driver, of course. We're just looking for that opportunity where the driver's going to roll down the window,
His windows
throw
are
the
all
keys
open,
out,
are closed.
and then open the door and surrender. That's what the LAPD is hoping for. That's what I think everybody in trail of this pursuit is hoping for. Now, I can tell you, though, that as this car just kind of creeps along here, the
Okay, if this guy, if they would count 5 seconds, if he doesn't move, block him from going anywhere.
All lanes because of the Caltrans. That's helped a little bit, but the interchange there, people can now take the 57 freeway or the 71 and get past this backup. So there is a little hope there for the backup.
Bro, barricade the goddamn dude. It doesn't matter.
we're
You guys
beyond
have
the
guns and shotguns
interchange
and
now,
ARs.
east
Just
of
go
it.
barricade the dude. Juan, you still here? Tell me tell me, like, you should barricade him.
No, it's loose, but it looks like it's still intact.
So that
We're talking about
the left
bumper. If
the
he's
rear-
lost
the
the
rear
bumper,
driver door.
my colleague Eliana Moreno made mention that the bumper was loose. It looks like it's still
Okay.
on, but I did see
Go to
some
the car,
movement
break the
on it
window, and
earlier
just
on.
tase the guy. Come on.
And again, that's
Tell me it's over.
likely due to the tires
Is he over?
coming apart.
He wants to get out?
during
Does it
the
look like he
chase
wants to
and
get out?
just,
Or does he keep
beating
moving?
on the bumper, on the wheel well.
Is it over? Nope, it's not. Oh, he's reaching. He's reaching. I'm telling you, he's gonna get out that car. He's gonna get shot. Yeah, literally, the car's done.
Eastbound 10 freeway just past the
I'm
Kellogg
just hoping that
interchange.
the car's out of gas and it's
Where we're
refusing to
at.
go. Tell me it's over. Fucking LAPD. Go barricade the fucking guy. Yeah, the suspect is armed, I know. For a car that could go for about almost 5 hours, that car must be almost empty.
So the driver now on the gas, and let's see how fast.
The more faster he goes, he's gonna wipe out and then he's dead.
27, 28, 30 miles an hour.
No, hey, hold on, watch right here, hold on. Let me get my mouse. Look right here. That tire's gonna go. He's gonna be riding on that rim. Here comes the sparks right here. I mean, that car is an easy fix. Needs 3 new rims and probably a new CV boot and axle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Casey, thank you. I'm sorry, say again.
Come on, bro.
Oh, okay, thank you, Olivia. Thank you.
Get the fucking military on this guy, bro.
Hey, Jamie, thank you. You were awesome. Thanks for all the help. We appreciate it.
I'm gonna go check if NBC is live again, or ABC.
Talking to Jamie Bankson, who's off now, and
Nope.
did a great job in assisting us up here in the choppers with the pursuit as it continues on. Painfully eastbound 10 freeway, 1 mile an hour at times, stopping at times, and reaching about 20 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour, maybe max. Due
Bro,
to,
shoot the
no
guy.
tread on those front tires.
Come on, man. Finish it.
Hey, Casey, let's let it catch up to us so we can look into the side of the window.
He goes over to 15 to 20 miles an hour.
Okay.
Hard braking. Those brake pads have to be done.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. And just to recap a little bit about this chase, it was LAPD 77th Division gang units that were initially started this pursuit in South LA. We were flying at the time, heard the chase starting up. It was in South LA Western and 75th on surface streets, driving erratic at high speeds, running red lights, going the wrong direction on streets.
Those poor officers, man. I
going
feel
through
so bad.
parking lots, and
someone just go
fortunately,
ram
there
the
were no
car.
accidents during that
Like,
portion
go
of
out,
the
head-on
chase.
collision, bro. Hit him at a high speed where he doesn't need to go and keep on going.
And then once the driver eventually made his way to the 110 freeway, that's when the driver started to ramp it up on the freeway going 90 miles an hour, but then started to do this, slowing down and driving a little recklessly across lanes, reaching speeds of 20 miles an hour during
This has to be
portion
like
of
a
the
world
chase, and
record
then
or something, bro.
accelerating. That's when he had tires. They weren't popped like they are now. But this behavior started back then, southbound on the 110 freeway past, well, actually around the 105 freeway.
Here you go, 23, 24.
More people on the bridge overpass there to watch the pursuit go underneath. Look at that, people running across the bridge to look as the pursuit passes under them.
Bro, I'd literally grab a 50 cal and just shoot the engine bay. Fuck it.
Those gang units were likely surveilling this driver before the pursuit started, and they believe that the driver was armed with a weapon and also possibly wanted for a shooting out of Newton Division, LAPD Newton Division. And so because of that, they were very leery and not going to try the pit maneuver, and even spike strips were a danger. Let's come back in here, and the driver may have rolled the window down. No, he did not. Eventually, the spike strip was done. I believe it was on the 101 freeway in or near Hollywood. And they were successful on that, popping at least 3 of the 4 tires, making them flat. And now we're down on 2 rims on the front, and that rear tire here on the driver's side looking pretty shabby. As I come into that tire, you see how it's just barely any tread at all there. The front one has nothing. The front 2 have nothing. And there's the driver. Still active in the car, still moving around, reaching for things. Eastbound 10 freeway at Dudley. Out again in a wide shot and to see the traffic and trail. There you have it.
Man, this is
Lines
poor
of
people,
cars,
man.
Still people trying to get out east from LA. Awful backup there. And now we're really on a long stretch of the 10 freeway, long stretch of the 10 freeway. That the next interchange is going to be the 15 freeway, and that's still a long ways away.
And we hit 200 subscribers. Juan, you are my 200th subscriber.
Let's come in again. I see some movement
Thank you so
there
much for the sub, bro.
on the driver, and
Come on, tell me, is it finally over? Is it finally over?
when it comes to a stop like this and the officers jump out, you know that the officers are on their loudspeaker talking to that driver, issuing commands. You know, stop the car, put it in park.
Is it
Throw
finally over?
out the key,
Is it finally over?
show your hands, exit the vehicle, and
Yeah, it's a drone. No, it's a helicopter.
normally walk back towards the officers.
Tell me it's
They take
over.
the driver into custody. That's what normally happens in a felony stop like this. But the driver has been
Yo, what if the
playing
car's out of
games
gas?
the entire time here, stopping, letting them get out, letting them draw their guns, letting them announce what they want to say and give them orders, and then the driver simply pulling away. Each time it stops, we hope would be the end, but there you
No.
go. That's what happens. The driver
This man,
starts
just
to
give
creep
up.
away
Let the
from
officers go,
and then the
man.
pursuit continues. In the meantime, hundreds of cars behind this pursuit are just stopped. Fortunately, they're coming up on some exits now. They have the 57 freeway behind them that can give them some relief. But for those trying to get out,
He has his hands up.
towards
Does he?
San Bernardino or Riverside, they're really out of luck. If you know anybody in this backup, you may want to have them exit the freeway and
Yep.
take surface streets to get around this, and then they can jump on the freeway ahead of the pursuit to get out of that traffic mess.
Tell me this pursuit's over. Nope, it's not. He's gonna keep going.
And off he goes. There goes some more parts coming off the car as the driver accelerates to almost to 30 miles an hour, and then boom, stops.
Come on, dude. Like, literally. Just shoot the guy, please. So all you fine people watching the live stream, welcome.
More people on the bridge there running to see it go under them. More cars stopped on the side of the road. This
Like,
is
if you two are just standing there, block his path.
where the car is now getting up alongside the other vehicles there, which LAPD, they do not want to see this happen. They want those vehicles to clear out that are ahead of the pursuit and either exit or just speed up and get away from it. Here you see this car in the carpool lane. That nice sunlight lighting it up, trying to tell the driver, hey, move on. You need to get away from this driver here. Again, this driver's wanted for being armed and dangerous. They don't want anybody
Alright guys,
getting
I'm gonna
hurt.
call it a night right here.